All right, guys, let's hop into it. Tonight, I wanted to talk about a specific subject, and then obviously at the end we will open it up for Q&A in which you can ask questions about the subject we talked about or just questions in general, and we'll cover everything you want. But tonight I wanted to talk about what really drives sales, what really drives conversions from your content. Now, this is specific to organic, but I want you to still, even if you're just doing paid ads, doesn't matter. You still want to know the psychology behind this stuff that I'm talking about here tonight. So it's still very valuable to understand people's driving force. I'm going to share the screen here. And for some reason, this isn't working. Is this working? Uh-oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's working. All right. For some reason, uh, a lot of times I would say 80 to 90% of people who join any of my programs are beginners and just starting off. There's nothing wrong with that because you guys know most of the people out there are going to be beginners. Here's one really cool thing about affiliate marketing, make money online, if that is your niche. But I want you to take this away with you, no matter what your niche is. If your niche is fitness, if your niche is dating, I don't care what it is, and you're building an organic following, then know that the vast majority of people that you're going to be speaking to and the people that you're making content for are almost always going to be beginners. That's going to be like 80 to 90% of the people out there in the world. Okay. So I get this a lot of times with a beginner coming in and they get, maybe this is you get like writer's block when it comes to content. You don't know what to send out as an email. You don't know what to shoot for TikTok or Instagram or YouTube or anything else. You don't know. And my bread and butter in the beginning was Facebook Lives. You're terrified of going live most of the time. And you're like, oh my God, what do I talk about? So I hear that question a lot. What do I talk about? So we're going to dive deep into that right now. And I want you to know that it's actually not as difficult as you might think. Somebody have an echo there? If you guys can mute real quick, just so I can get through this lesson. But it's not as difficult as you would think. Because if you go and you get Expert Secrets, which I know some of you have already gotten it in the new program, please read that book end to end, one time per year. Okay, one time per year. I don't care how far you get in your business. If you get to 9 figures, you're making $100 million a year, read that book one time per year. Because every time I go back to that book, I learn something new. It's a refresher. You're picking up something else from the book. And he talks about really every single person that you'll sell to on the internet. They're going to have a basically an outline of where they are. Right now, they are in hell and you are taking them to heaven, right? What we sometimes get tied up in thinking about is we think about, okay, I'm selling them a product. You're never selling them a product. Never. It's going to be mind-blowing because sometimes if people are so gung-ho about, I'm selling a product, I'm selling a product, I'm selling a product. I don't care if you're selling my membership, high ticket, I don't care what you're selling. You are not selling a product. You are selling an outcome. You are selling a destination. What is the transformation that they want to go through? What is their current hell? And what is the heaven that they want to achieve? It is not the product. The product is actually somewhere right here. The product is in the middle, right? The product is the mechanism by which they will use this to leapfrog over to their heaven. So we're not actually selling the product, we're selling the heaven. We're selling the ultimate destination. Okay? And a lot of times I'll hear this from a beginner. If this is you, great. This is the perfect lesson for you. You'll think, okay, great. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm selling. That's wonderful. What does that actually look like in practical terms? What do I say exactly? It's very simple. Let's take, just for example, I'm making TikTok content. That's all I'm doing. I'm making TikTok content. I'm growing a following. There is a level of go with whatever's trending and what everybody's talking about. That's great. But if you're saying the same things everyone else says, you will open yourself up to oversaturation. and you'll open yourself up to a lot of competition, and you'll notice that you'll get a bunch of clicks, some interest, but no sales. Okay. The differentiator, what makes you special, is you. This is why I'm so strong on do a personal brand, do a personal brand, be the personal brand of your business. Because if everyone is faceless, everyone eventually will just say all the same things. And there's no reason to do business with you versus somebody else. It is your personality, that beautiful unicorn spark that is inside of you, that makes you you, and the reason that people want to buy from you. So all you really have to do when you're sitting down and making content or thinking about making content is you're starting with yourself. I'm going to use myself as an example. I'm going to say me. And I'm just thinking, okay, if the vast majority of my audience, those eyeballs out there, out in TikTok world, Instagram world, wherever you're doing your marketing, okay, if the vast majority of those people are beginners, then chances are they've even never tried affiliate marketing before. They've never thought about starting their own online business. That's going to be a really massive wide audience. What are some of the objections or hangups or holdbacks or possibly something they've never thought of that could be stopping them from moving to the next stage? Everyone has a heaven and they have a hell. Probably they're in hell right now. So paint that picture in your head. What does their hell look like? They are stuck at a 9-to-5 job. I'm going to put stuck 9 to 5. This is just me. Do this exercise for yourself. If you're in any other niche, this is a make money online niche. Typically, they're stuck in their 9 to 5 and they can't stand their job, right? Let's say they're probably blue collar, maybe white collar, but they can't stand their job. They're stuck in their 9 to 5. They don't have a lot of time with family, right? Because of their 9 to 5, they're missing a lot of time with family. They're not seeing their grandkids. Maybe they're a little older, something. So you're just thinking in your head, what are some of the hell scenarios that they're going through? Okay. Next, probably not making enough. Not enough. I know that's not how you spell enough. I made it the short way. So not enough moolah, right? Money. Okay. Not enough of that. Paycheck to paycheck. That's part of their hell. That's part of what's going on with them. Maybe if we go deeper, if you sit down and meditate on this for a little bit, if we go deeper, we start to think about, what about internally? What about mentally? What about something that's always bugged them, right? What about always thought they would be more or thought they would achieve more, thought more? Maybe that's just a personal self-realization thing that, hey, I'm stuck in this 9 to 5 job. I've been doing this for 10 years. I always thought I would be more. I always thought I would, there was a time when I was young, I wanted to be a football player or something. There's that lack of accomplishment, right? That lack of, I really wish I could do something with my life. So that's part of their hell. We just are making this very spell it out. Where are they now? This is the people that I'm speaking to now with all of my content. Do this exercise, and I promise you, your content will be so much easier to make. I promise you. Write out everything you can possibly think of where they are now. And this should be really easy for you, especially if you're in this program, because this was probably you not too long ago. So start thinking back to what are some of the thoughts I was having, maybe even before you considered even starting a business. What were some of the reasons that led you down that path that made you think, maybe starting an online business would be a good idea? So start painting out everything you can possibly remember on that front. I'm going to just square this off and I'm going to put hell here. Okay. And we'll start thinking of, okay, where do they ultimately want to be? They ultimately want to be free. We'll say time freedom. Free equals time. They can work whenever they want to. They can work, whatever time or work lack thereof. They just not work at all. They want that because maybe they want to travel. They want to see the world, right? They want to see the world. They want to take their family to special places. They want that time with family. Maybe this is someone with an older parent. They want to take care of their parents. Parents are getting older, right? We can come up with so many different content ideas. Again, If you read the book Expert Secrets, which I referenced before, he talks about the relatable beginner. Guys, I want you to know this. You might think content is really easy for me. It's not. The more I grow and the more quote unquote successful I become, the harder it is for me to be relatable. People want to follow someone that is relatable to them. I've started being called a guru, and it like made me kind of nervous and shaky and felt weird because like I never saw myself that way. I'm just a regular guy doing affiliate marketing. I am not a guru. But people will say that, right? Because they'll see all the results and like, wow, you're a big guru. I'm like, I'm just a regular guy. But it becomes more and more difficult the further along you go. Know that you have an advantage because you're just starting off. It's not what you think. You might see all these income screenshots, like I made 45,000 in a weekend, and you might feel insecure and think that you have to replicate that. Well, I don't have any income yet. I haven't made any sales. How do I relate to people? How do I sell? You don't have to talk about that stuff. Just talk about the steps that it took for you to get to where you are now. Even just trying is what most people have not done yet. So we'll erase this for now and say, okay, this is me. All right, let's make this new again. And so how are we going to make this content? All you have to do is pull from your own experiences. I'll draw myself again. Because again, remember, how do we make our product unique? You're an affiliate marketer. If you are selling me a pair of shoes as your affiliate product, I can just leave TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, wherever you're promoting, go to Amazon and go buy that pair of shoes without you. Why do I buy it from you? Because of you. I'm going to show you right now. So this is what I call, and some of you have been in my ecosystem for a while, know that I call this the V. I'm going to put this in air quotes. The V. Okay. And after I explain this, if this is your first time hearing this, you're going to see this everywhere. Like in all TV shows, all kinds of documentaries and stuff, they use the V all the time. And they use it because it's extremely powerful for you to invest yourself into that person. Let me explain. So the V is basically a form of storytelling. Okay. It's a story. Some of you have heard the old marketing cliche, stories sell. It's true. We're emotional creatures. When we hear a story, it sells. And meaning that it sells in a sense that, yeah, buy things, but also it sells in the sense of we get emotionally invested into that person. Any wrestling fans in here? No, yes, maybe so. I like wrestling. Family likes wrestling. Kids like wrestling. We go to wrestling events and whatnot. And if you're not a wrestling fan, WWE and all that stuff, it sometimes from the outside looking in, it's very weird. I get it. It's like those are grown men, in tights throwing each other around the ring. It's very, staged and fake, and it's storylines and scripts. Why do you watch that? Well, that's exactly why. It's because of the stories. It's because of the emotional attachment. If you stay tuned, week in and week out, and you see these characters go through their ups, go through their downs, they laugh, they cry, they go. It's a show. It's a drama, right? Mixed with some action. But the point that I'm trying to make there is this is what you're doing with your content to make yourself stand out. So you're just going to tell a story here. And it doesn't matter what the story is, pull from your own personal experiences. But this story is going to have a downfall. So you're always going to start with problem. Okay? Problem. You had a problem. What was that problem? It could be something external. It could be something internal. Okay? We're going back to what are the things that are stopping people from buying? Let's say they don't believe in themselves. Belief is something that's holding them back from taking that next step. Maybe they don't believe they can start a business, right? You've started a business, so you are more advanced than these people, than the people that you're speaking to. That's all you have to do. I didn't make $1 million. You don't have to say that stuff. Hey, man, here's my story. A few months ago, I was down and out, and I was thinking about starting a business for years, but I always felt like it was too complicated or too techy or something like that. And then I saw this ad, and this guy, Joel, or whatever the story is, and it made it so much simpler and so much easier. And now I'm in this program, IAA, and he's really breaking things down and showing me how to build my business. Haven't made money yet, but hey, I'm confident. This is really great. I feel so much better, and I finally believe in myself. Remember, hell, heaven. Their heaven has one of the has that category. It has belief. They want to believe in themselves. Right now, they don't. So by you telling that story and talking about the problem and the downside of that problem, oh, I stayed so stuck in my mind and my business, and or not my business, in my life, and I wanted to start a business, but something kept holding me back, and you broke through that. Okay, usually in this story, usually there's a rock bottom. So think about, what was that rock bottom? Rock bottom doesn't have to be the most dramatic thing ever. You know, you don't always have to say I was homeless or something, unless that's true. Always speak the truth. Don't make stuff up. Because remember, this is how we're differentiating ourselves from every other affiliate marketer out there. Okay. Is that we're talking about ourselves. So maybe my rock bottom was, you know, I'd always thought that I would be a rock star or a sports player or something. And here I am sitting on a forklift, staring at the time clock, you know, 5 minutes left, and I'm just thinking to myself, this is my life now, just sitting here being paid $14 an hour, waiting to clock out, and I feel like there's so much more I can achieve. This is definitely not for me. That was my rock bottom. Like, this is all I am, and I don't want to do this anymore. That's it. You know, don't overcomplicate it. Don't think you have to go so far, but there's some kind of a rock bottom. Then, as Russell Brunson says in Expert Secrets, he always says there is a discovery. I call it the solution. There's a discovery, a big aha moment, right? You were scrolling on Facebook, you saw this ad with this guy, you know, Infamous Joel or whoever you saw, and he was talking about this affiliate marketing, you know, and then you start, oh, and you don't have to sell your own, you don't have to make your own products, and you just, you know, post TikToks like this, and he made it sound so easy, and so far so good. I'm starting my business, I feel great. I know I'm meant for more. Hey, I haven't made any sales yet, but I know this is great, it's going to work. That's it. Because all you did was instill belief in them. It's like, hey, if this person could do it, maybe I can too. Chances are that person you're speaking to, that you've reached on that content, that TikTok, they are that person on that forklift right now. So they needed to hear that story. Okay, problem, solution, ultimately the heaven up here. This is great. I feel wonderful. This is the changes that it did for me. You hear this all the time, even in weight loss. It doesn't matter if you have some crazy, incredible weight loss story where you lost 150 pounds. That's awesome. That's amazing. That's great. But even the beginners, hey, you know, I'm taking this new supplement and it's my first week and already I've lost 1 pound. And I remember before, oh, I felt like I was at the end of my rope and I was gaining so much weight and this and that. And this week so far, hey, I've lost a pound. I feel incredible. I'm so excited. That's enough. That's enough for someone to say yes and go and buy that product, because you just spelled out their heaven. You told a short story about where you were, your rock bottom, the solution you found. That's it. So just think about it in your head. Is you're always starting here. Let me go back to my box. You're always starting here with, okay, what could be something that's holding them back? Maybe it's time. You know, every time I think about starting a business, I just don't have enough time. I'm so busy. You can talk about, you know, this problem that you had where you also didn't have a lot of time and you hit this rock bottom. What was the rock bottom? And then you found this solution. You know, my solution was I started compartmentalizing my day where it's like, I'll just work 30 minutes and then I'll do this and this and this. I had proper time management. I finally stopped making excuses for myself and started doing this. And now I finally have made time for my business. And hey, I'm making some progress. Today I built my funnel and this is awesome. That's all you need to talk about in your content. Remember, most people you're speaking to are complete beginners or just completely just not even aware or wanting to start a business at all. Be the relatable beginner. The more techno babble, as it says in the book in Expert Secrets, that you speak, the more you turn people off. So sometimes people, some of you guys might look at me as like, well, you know all this advanced stuff, you know, Facebook ads, you know this stuff. How can I talk about that in my content? Don't. Don't talk about it. Because if you don't know what you're talking about, that's even worse, number one. And number two, the vast majority of people don't know what you're talking about anyway, right? If you're reaching that big audience, 80-90% of the audience, all you need to talk about is normal everyday stuff. Problem, rock bottom, solution, heaven. Okay? Works for fitness, works for make money online, works for anything. Always start with the topic, and the topic is always one of these things. What's holding them back? Okay? What is holding them back? Maybe trust. Trust is another one. Trust will be built over time anyway, the more they start watching your content. Okay? People didn't trust me at first. Okay? I just posted and posted until people were like, ah, that guy's kind of cool. Hopefully. Yeah. So you just stay consistent. Trust will happen over time, but maybe you have a story about trust. Maybe you have a story about some vicious guru that took all of your money, and you had this rock bottom that, oh my God, they stole like 30,000 out of my bank account and ran off somewhere and I can't find them. And that's like horrifying for most people. But the solution, hey, I stuck with it. I kept at it. I found this other mentor who's wonderful. And now we're getting back on the right track. And like people want to hear that. Now that you've seen this V visually, now that you understand this conceptually, you will start to see it everywhere. Anyone watch certain shows like The Voice or any of those competition shows, The Voice or like America's Got Talent? They do this all the time. Notice how before the contestant, goes out onto the stage and does their performance, they always have this V, this, hey, my name's Sam, and my family, gave me up for adoption when I was this, and they'll show this whole downhill slide, the rock bottom. They were at their wits' end and everything was going wrong. And then I found singing, or I found how to do, tightrope walking or whatever their talent is. And they start talking about how it saved their life and how they're here to compete on this show. They do it all the time. Why do they do it? Because psychologically, this is how we grow attachments to people very quickly. It's easy to look at me on a piece of content, and if I'm just like, I made 50,000 this month, blah, blah, blah. There's no way to attach yourself to that person, right? It's like, well, first of all, I don't trust you. Get out of here. You're fake guru. You're a scam. Get out of here. Very easy to just shove that off. That's nothing. Who cares about that? That guy's lying. It's very easy to dismiss it, right? Because it sounds ridiculous. I don't care what you say. It's crap. If you get into a claim battle, claim, make this much in 5 seconds, everyone's doing claims. You're just going to have oversaturation. No one's going to listen to you. This is what people respond to. Making yourself vulnerable, making yourself real. Okay. People in this space do it all the time. The bigger people do it. Guys like Philip Johansson, big program. Guy has a big program, right? Big name in the affiliate marketing space. He talks all the time, truthfully, about how his father had cancer and how he was a plumber, and he was a plumber making, not a lot of money, and he was depressed. His father got cancer, and that's when he decided he needed to do something with his life, found a mentor and started doing affiliate marketing. And then he talks about the hustle and how much he was posting every day and doing everything and how he became a big success. Without that first part of the story, I was a plumber. My father had cancer, very sad, very, all that stuff. People go through messed up stuff all the time. I share my story about being in prison. Most people haven't been to prison, thank God, don't go. But they can relate to the fact that I've gone through some stuff too, or maybe they have family members that have gone through some stuff like that. Make yourself real and relatable first before you start talking solution, claim, this is amazing, it's awesome. What most people do is their content is just, it's amazing, it's awesome, it's amazing, it's awesome. They're going to go deaf to that. They're not going to hear any of it. It's just easy to dismiss that stuff. So whether you're doing Facebook Lives, TikToks, Instagram, YouTube to a degree, YouTube has a little bit of a different structure, but kind of similar. Emails as well. This works very well with email marketing because people are so used to you just pitching stuff, me pitching stuff in emails. I'm very lazy with my emails. Listen to what I say, not what I do. I could probably do better. But it works with email too. My best performing emails were the ones where I actually sat down and thought this through, which doesn't happen very often. But you want to start with something like, I had a big argument with my fiance, my wife, the other day. It was huge. We started screaming at each other. Never had a big blow up like that. Everyone's had a big argument. Everyone's had arguments with a spouse, loved one, whatever. Right there, you've already got their attention. They relate to that. And you talk about the rock bottom, and you talk about the downfall, and then you talk about the solution. Here's the solution that we had, and how it all ties back into what you're promoting, how it all ties back in. And it doesn't have to be the product. Remember, the heaven, they want to believe in themselves. They want to have confidence. They want to have free time. They want to have all these things. It is possible, but you have to talk about where you were, where you want to be sometimes. Maybe you're not all the way there yet, but where you want to be and how you're making progress. They're thinking to themselves, okay, there is a way out. I can do this because I'm listening to this person is very real. They're showing me, hey, they're making the steps. I can do this too. So I wanted to make this call, which, by the way, if you guys are in IAA on this call right now, the recordings will be available all the time. I just haven't made the recording section just yet. But that is the exact framework that I used on all of my Facebook Lives for years and years. Most of my content, I would use the same framework. It just always depends on what is the objection, what is the thing that is holding them back. I'm going to tell a story about how I was able to help myself with that. And then hopefully it inspires, it uplifts, and it encourages people, because really that's what stops people from buying things. It's not the product's not good enough. It's all of these other mental kerfuffles all in their head, all this stuff that's juju that's going on. I talked to somebody today that said, he loved the product, he loved the program, he's loved everything that I was talking to him about, but it was really his the lack of control. He's very used to being in control. He's a manager. He runs a company, all these things. So the idea of stepping into a new business where he doesn't have control was freaking him out. That's an idea for your content. If, let's say, your audience is business owners. Hey, you're used to being in control. I get it. Here's a story. Here's how I was able to conquer this kind of feeling before. People will respect you for it. People will love your content. And you don't have to overthink this stuff, because I get that all the time, guys. I don't know what to talk about. I haven't made money yet. What do I say? It's nonsense. It's ridiculous. People will not follow you just because you made money. They follow you because they're receiving some kind of a piece of value. That could be teaching something, teach what you're learning, that's fine. Or, to me, the most powerful, a kind of a dopamine rush, where it's like, aha, the aha moment. People want that. Right now, I've been listening to a lot of Jim Rohn. Is anybody familiar with Jim Rohn? Oh my God, Lori, wonderful. He's amazing. Oh my God, he's amazing. I have made multiple seven figures now in affiliate marketing and coaching, courses, all that stuff. I still go back to the basics, and Jim Rohn, he's talking about belief and self-confidence, and I would buy anything he sells me right now. Because of his presence, his he's coming off very real and very strong and telling you, hey, you can do this. And it's like, wow, it doesn't matter what level you are, you can relate to things like that. So that's what I'm telling you, is that the vast majority of people don't want to hear this, I made $10 million this week stuff. They don't care anyway. They don't believe you anyway. That's phony. They want real life struggle. They want a real lesson that you learn that's going to affect and impact them that day. That's powerful. That's real. Doesn't matter what your niche is. That's what people want. That's why people follow you. Probably it's why some of you guys follow me, is that something I said resonated with you, hopefully. And just know that's what your business should be all about. The sales, the money, all that stuff, that comes from those people's faith in you, and those people's, they see value in you. They want you to be their person. So take pride in that. As you grow as a human being, as you grow as a person, your business will grow too. People never have business problems in this space. They have personal problems that are bleeding into their business. That's all you have. I never want to hear you guys say I have business problems. No, let's start with the person. What's going on today? Are you feeling confident? Are you feeling negative? Are you feeling frustrated? It's the personal issues that are bleeding into the business every single time, I promise you. I promise you, promise you, promise you. So that's going to be that lesson for today, just talking about the V. Very powerful framework. Always think, okay, what is the main point that I want to drive home here? Think about a story real quick. The more you do this, the faster you'll get at it. I promise you. You won't even think about it anymore. You just will feel inspired and say, I want to tell this story today. And that's it. You know, it could be somebody cut you off in traffic and how it made you like curse to the heavens, like, I was so mad. But then I remembered, you know what? It's not that big a deal. I just thought it's not that big a deal. That guy is probably just as enraged and upset as I am. You know, he's having a bad day. Don't let other people's bad day ruin your day. Let's stay focused and get on this business. Right there. Just like that. You don't know if that could have impacted somebody hearing that today, because that may have been them. They had a bad day and they're not working on their business. They're saying, screw it. And just that story right there made them more inspired and get back to work and do the things that they want to do. All right. So I had some stuff in the chat here. Jim Rohn is Rohn. Somebody help me. Is he still alive? Did he pass away? I'm not. He was. A lot of the content I see is very old content, but it's unbelievable. I'm just gonna real quick. Oh, died in 2009. Oh, that sucks. That guys, but his content is timeless. It is timeless. Most of the stuff I found was, it looks like maybe from the 70s or something like that. The guy was ahead of his time as like a motivational speaker, business. He really knows how to dive into your soul as a human being and really just, you know, pull the best part of you out of you. There's this multi-billionaire in everybody in this room right now. That person exists inside of each and every one of you. It's just all of these hangups, all of these childhood traumas, all of these things that keep you from, can I really do that though? Am I really deserving of something like that? Of course you are. You're amazing. You just have to learn how to take your story, the power that you have, and serve other people with that story. I've been to jail. That's mine. Okay. I did drugs, all this stuff. Whatever it is for you, discover that, find that. Because as an affiliate marketer, you have to figure out a way to add value. And that is the easiest, lowest hanging fruit value that you can add, is your own personal story, your own personality, how you approach things. People jump in, oh, I stutter a lot. Great, then that's your product. That's who you are. You're the stuttering guy. Okay, then that's your personality. You know, it is what it is. Accept it and move forward and use that. All right, guys. I will go ahead and open up for Q&A now. I'm excited to hear some of you guys' questions, comments, concerns. Mike said, would you start a YouTube video with your story every time? Not necessarily. No, YouTube is a little bit different. YouTube has algorithms in place where the machine listens to your video. Okay, the words that you're saying in your video, believe it or not, YouTube can figure out what your video's about, and that's how they place your video, because it is a search engine. So there is an element of that. We have to think about keywords and all that stuff. However, I would always start, if you see some of my videos on YouTube, you'll see, hey, today I'm going to show you how to automate your business with make.com and some apps and software, affiliate marketing. Let's go. If it's your first time on this channel, I'm Infamous Joel. I spent, 7 years in prison. I've done this and this and this. And specifically, I might jump into how I discovered this. Months ago, I was really frustrated in my business. I was having like 25 apps and I had to do thumbnails and I had to do this and I had to do that. And I was just pulling my hair out. That's a story, but it's leading into this solution, the topic of this video that we're talking about. Like I said, this does not always have to be super profound. It's just the way that our brains are wired. The more relatable that person feels and seems, the more attached to that person we are. I've had multiple people, I would say multiple, maybe thousands at this point, personal conversations, texts, calls, whatever, that will say, oh, I follow you because you're so real and you're so, all this stuff. I know what they mean. They mean that, really. Because if you look at most YouTube videos, they just get right into, hey, you know, I made 30,000 in two seconds. Here's how I did it. And that's it. Well, that person doesn't feel relatable. It feels very fabricated and very, so I take a second. Hey, real quick, I'm going to show you this in this video, but here's how I actually came up with this, or what was going on in my life or in my business that made me realize this. I have simple videos, how to unfriend your friends. Hey, I came up with this because I had some friends that I either went to prison with or used to do drugs with and stuff like that. And I realized in order for me to move forward, I have to unfriend those people. I have to just get away from them completely because they're messing up with my mindset and all that stuff. So if you're watching this now, here's the lesson to do that. Get around a better circle. Here's the community that I'm in. I'm in this community with all business-minded people, affiliate marketing. That's a real video on my channel, by the way. If you watch Unfriend Your Friends, at the time I was in this program, look how I took my personal story, right? What I really went through and said, hey, I'm so glad I'm in this community now. I'm around like-minded people that want to start a business. If you want to join too, click the link down below. That's my affiliate link. I'm in there. I'll be glad to see you in there, and we'll get together. We'll share tips and ideas, and we'll grow this business together. People loved that video because I was being so vulnerable in the beginning. I was being real and telling a story about how I learned that, hey, this place that I'm in right now, so much better than where I was. They might be there right now. So that's what really connects your audience to you. If I would have just said, hey, join this thing, for what? Why? Who is this person? I don't care about you. But yeah, I would try to slide a story in there, a little, like a mini V every once in a while inside of your videos, just to keep that connection going. It's psychology. It really does help. Being vulnerable with people, being open and honest with people. You don't see people like that every day. You know, that's why we're wired that way. You don't walk down the street and people are just open and just telling you everything about themselves. Only a true close friend, family member, somebody like that will tell you, you know, here's some of the stuff I've been through. That's why it feels that way. It feels very genuine. So be very genuine, be very real. You don't have to, you know, do anything spectacular. Just talk about yourself in conjunction with the content that you're putting out. As most people wear a mask. We know that. Most people wear a mask in real life. You walk around, you go to work, and people just, hey, you know, everything's fine. They're not fine.
Not me. I was born with this.
But he wears his heart on his sleeve. He's very.
I quickly want to jump in before I forget. You know,
No, go ahead.
with the
I'm
old
done
age,
anyway.
you know, when I think of something, I have to speak. Otherwise, by the time that you finished, I forgot what I
Oh
wanted
no,
to
I'm
say.
done. You guys go ahead.
So first of all, I want to thank you for. It's a very positive message. It's absolutely. I think everybody needs to understand that where you come from and where you ended up is on different levels where most people come from and where they want to be. So thanks for that. I think I speak for all of us that a session like this has more value sometimes than actually seeing something on a screen. And the second thing I want to put on the table is I want to make everybody aware that the main thing that holds us back is fear of failure, fearful success. People are scared to be successful. They are starting a Facebook ad and it starts to run, and then they think, oh shit, but I need to put more money in because, and then they pull back, and you know something is not right, and fight that fear of success. Grab it, do it. One point I want to make on YouTube videos is be careful when you do videos. When you say something on the video, one thing that you always have to make sure is the background behind you. There's people that come on YouTube, they make videos. I made $20,000 last weekend. I made $500,000 over the last year. And you look at the video behind them and they sat in a single bedroom flat with their bed not even made. People with mind, people that will really invest in you will think you're nuts. Okay. The last thing I want to mention is something they use in the business world is the elevator pitch, where you go in an elevator and you ride with somebody 4 or 5 floors and you tell him in 4 or 5 floors exactly what you're doing. When it comes to affiliate marketing, forget the elevator pitch. You need to tell people bottoms up where it's going. Sorry, that was my pound of meat.
I love it. I love it. Anyone else? Any questions, comments? It could be on the V. It could be, another topic that you guys are thinking about going through some of the new training there. When it comes to Angelito says, when it comes to first promoter, is there any data to suggest a particular number of clicks per conversion? No. And here's another tidbit. Here's a good one, because in all marketing, I've learned that you can either good leads, I would say buyers. Buyers are either born or they're made. Okay. So you have to think about, this is gonna sound so bad. It's gonna sound so like I'm conceited or something. But I promise you I'm not. I'm just making a bigger point here. I have 2 plaques back there, right? I don't know if you see them. One is from ClickFunnels, one is from System.io. Both of them say Millionaire Club, $1 million, whatever. I've made $1 million with both of those softwares, so $2 million plus in the last 5 years. It wasn't like overnight, trust me. But but I'm saying that to say, look at the size of my audience. It's very small in comparison to guys I like. Jonathan Montoya, love him. He's really, really smart. Other guys, you'll see in this group, actually, you'll see Nate Bacher soon. He's going to do an interview for us. Great friend of mine, wonderful millionaire, done a lot of stuff with affiliate marketing. We're going to have an interview with him pretty soon here. We're arranging it in the background. We're very busy, but we're talking about it. So he wants to come in here and talk to you guys, but big audience, like 2 million followers on Instagram. Hey, huge, huge. And we could go on and on. Philip Johansson is like 30,000 member Facebook group. These guys are huge, massive amounts of people. I'm very small, right? In comparison, I think my YouTube channel is only like 7,000 subscribers. So it's not the size of the audience. It's not the amount of leads that you get. It is the quality of those leads. Either they are born, either you're attracting the best leads possible with your marketing, or they don't start off very good, but you make them good through your marketing. You can create the best leads. So this is kind of, this is a great question, by the way, because it's tying into what we're talking about today. Most people out there, 80, 90% of your audience isn't ready to buy anything right now. They have no idea who you are. They don't care. But it's your content, the quality of that content, the quality of you, your character, and how they feel about you that's making them go, man, I like this. I like Angelito. He's a great story. I love this guy. I'm going to click on this link in his bio and buy his thing. Even though you might only have 100 followers, you'll make a few sales that week. It's so I never really consider like the size. I consider doing the best I can with the content that I create to convert the people that are watching. You want to increase your conversion rate. You do that through more genuine content, better marketing, better storytelling. And just think about how many other things you can put in that box, the heaven and the hell. How many things can you put in that hell that you can make yourself relatable to? I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot more. That was a very small sample. I've come up with a lot of stuff over the years. Most of it is going to be mental. Most of it is mental. 95% of what we do is driven by our thoughts. Some of it is physical, but most of it is mental. So you'll think of a lot of stuff to put in that box if you just think mental. I tell my story all the time about how I was terrible at school. That's a mental roadblock for a lot of people. Oh, I was so bad at school. I barely made it through. I didn't go to college. So why would somebody like me be successful at business? Well, when I say, hey man, listen, I dropped out in 9th grade. I barely know how to do math. They go, whoa, maybe I should check out this affiliate marketing thing then. that without saying that part, they would have never believed that maybe I could do this then. They would have still had that mental roadblock. Does that make sense, guys? That's why it's so important to really figure out what are these things holding them back, and you always have a story ready to go. It says that Russell Brunson says in Expert Secrets, he says, you're going to get tired of telling your story long before your audience does. And I thought that that was crazy, but he's absolutely right. As I am very tired of telling my stories. At this point, I'm just like, guys, you know my story already. Say it again. Oh, God, here we go. Because honestly, it helps other people. That's what it's about. A lot of people join, start a business and whatnot. They want to help other people. Good, because that's where the value really comes from. That's where your income really comes from. The more people you help, the more money you'll make. And part of that help is your story, the impact that it has on others. It doesn't have to be crazy. Like I said, doesn't have to be. Jim Rohn doesn't have the craziest story ever. He doesn't have, he was, down and out to some crazy degree. But the stories he does tell, wow. He tells secondhand stories sometimes. I'll tell you one that I really liked that I almost borrowed for myself. I switched it around to make it more about me because you never want to lie. You don't want to do that. But I said, wow, that's so true. I related to it. He said he was talking to somebody after a show. He does a lot of these stage kind of presentations. And they said, I always wanted to start a business. And it was the other day that I decided I definitely have to because my wife was at the grocery store and she called me and she said, should I get the can of beans that's 90 cents or the can of beans that's $1? She was calling me over 10 cents. And I'm not repeating verbatim. It was something like that. Lori remembers. But it was something like that. She was calling me over, debating over a dime. That's when I realized I have to start a business. Something has to change. This is humiliating. My own wife is asking me, should I save 10 cents? So something like that is for me that hit home because my parents were always broke all the time growing up. Like they couldn't get me the newest toy or whatever. And I just got used to them saying no all the time. They just didn't have the money to get me the stuff I wanted. And it's okay. I'm not blaming them for anything, but it's like, man, that's so profound. 10 cents. Do we have enough or should I save the 10 cents? That was deep. So I borrowed that and used it in a similar way, telling a story about my life. But that's something that when people heard that story from stage, as Jim Rohn was saying it, if you weren't convinced you need to start a business, you are now because you probably relate to that story that man just said. So that's the power of the storytelling. And when you do that, you don't have to worry about how many clicks you're getting and all that stuff. You're worried about conversions. How many people can I get to buy in to this journey? Remember, you're sending them to heaven. It's the transformation that they're trying to buy, not the product. They don't care what the product does. It whims and whams and woozoos. They don't care. They really don't. They really don't. If you guys like, because you've seen some of the most ridiculous, exercise equipment ever sold ever in the world. And fitness is the funniest industry and period point blank. They sell some of the dumbest stuff, but it's not the product. It's the marketing behind the product. It's the stories you're seeing, the before and after. The V. There's tons of V's in those infomercials and all those things. Sometimes they cry, I was so overweight and all these things. And that's what you're really buying. And this is why marketing is a weapon, because sometimes they use it for evil. Politicians do it all the time. So they know the power of the storytelling. They bring people in and they tell the stories and all that good stuff. So use it for good. I'm saying that right now. Your story should always be real. It actually happened. It actually comes from you. You didn't just steal it from somewhere or, all that stuff. But it's your stories that are going to get the most followers that want to buy from you. They're really dedicated to you and your message. It's not about the numbers. It's about, you'll see it in Expert Secrets, about building your tribe, your special tribe. Angelita says, do you know of any AI platform that can transcribe audio from video? Yeah, there's a ton of them. There is a ton of them. There is Cloud Convert comes to mind, but if you Google that, there's going to be 10 million of them. There's
I
so
use D I use Descript.
Descript, yeah. There you go. There's a ton of those. Anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? I love that you guys came out tonight. Yeah, keep the questions coming. Don't. Yeah, go ahead, Lori.
Just a question I put on the community thing is, you did that cartoon of your face or whatever you did. What software did you use? Do you remember? You
Pixels.
gave it a picture and then it did its
Yeah,
thing.
Pixels. It's spelled kind of funky though. Let me see if
Is
I
it
can.
the PIKELS or something?
It's something. It's like PIKZELS,
EL, yeah.
something like that. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. That's a good one for you guys. If you guys are doing YouTube, look at Pixels. I believe it's spelled PIKZELS. There it is. Eric just put it in the chat. Thank you, Eric. So that one right there, very cheap. I think it's like $10 a month. I think there's other plans and stuff. I use the $10 a month one. But if you're doing YouTube, it will actually create thumbnails for you. All you have to do is give it some ideas, give it a picture of yourself. And if some of you guys have seen, Lori's talking about some of the thumbnails I've made recently with my face very goofy looking and stuff like that. Very eye-catching. It works very well for your thumbnails, but I didn't make those. No one actually made those. AI made those. So yeah, it's a full-on AI creation machine that just will just make the thumbnails for you, which saves you a lot of time and money. It's really good. Eric says there's also plenty of custom GPTs in Chat GPT that make thumbnails. I didn't know that. That's awesome. That's awesome. So you guys, there you go. You can even use Chat GPT. There's some custom GPTs in there. Is anyone else? Questions, comments, concerns? Go ahead, Eves. Oh, you're on mute.
God, that's about the best thing that ever happened to you people when I'm on mute. I just have one question. First promoter, when I go into, let me just be on the right place when I go in there. Just give me a quick second. When I go into first promoter, when I go into my details where my referrals, the email address I do not see. It is like the beginning of the email, something at something and dot, 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 dot. And you can see it's gmail.com or whatever. But would it be possible for us to see the whole email? Because I use that to add that to my mailing list.
That's a really good question. And there was somebody else that mentioned that the other day too. And I was kind of confused because on my end, I'm the admin, so I can see them. Could you see them before in our old system?
In the old system, I could see them. Yes.
Okay. So
I could also export them in the old system.
Okay.
There was an export button in the old system, which is not in the new one. So if we can be able to see that.
That is a good question. I'm not 100% sure why that is, but I can check with First Promoter tomorrow and talk to their support.
Yeah.
So because if it was working like that before, I wonder what it was or what it is now. Mike,
there's still wait a second.
Oh.
I just want to quickly see. I see there's a download button.
Okay.
Oh no, when I downloaded it, it is the same.
Oh.
I see only the beginning and da. In the old one, I could see the old email address.
I'll definitely I'll write that down.
Please, man, please.
Did you try to expand that?
You
Try
can't.
to expand.
You
Can
can't.
you expand?
You can't, Larry. You can. It is. It downloads it in one column. The date of the sign up, the email address, as well as the time and location, time zone. So that's the only thing, but it puts it in one column. So you have to split everything with comma delimiters.
Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate the heads up on that because that's the second time I've heard it now. So I will check with First Promoter tomorrow and see what's going on there.
Please.
Mike,
you want me to send you a print screen?
Sure. Yeah, shoot me a screenshot just so I have something to show them.
Okay, so let me just do it.
Mike says, what screen recording software that is free or cheap that doesn't have big learning curve would you suggest? Loom. Loom.
Or CoolCam.
Cool. That one I've never heard of. Is that one pretty good?
Fantastic.
Eves recommends. Is that free or?
It's free.
Oh, wow.
Oh, there's a paid version, but the free for what I use it for, like screenshots and small snippets and videos and it's more than enough as what you need for
Okay.
to
Well,
for
check
you.
out that one, Mike. Either CoolCam or Loom. Loom has a free version, but I think it's like 10 minutes max that you can make a video, which as long as you're like, say your YouTube videos are under 10 minutes, you're fine. But and then it's like $10 is the paid version.
Streamlabs is free and it's pretty good. There's a little bit of a learning curve for it.
Oh yeah, Streamlabs. Yeah. I like Streamlabs.
I used LE and I took a picture of myself, sent it in, and the image came back very, very nice.
Nice.
I liked it,
Nice.
and that was free.
No, I used to use OBS, but I got to where I can't use it anymore.
I think Streamlabs is like OBS. It's just like I think it's like a simplified version of OBS.
It's
Am
a
I wrong?
simplified version. I stream on Twitch with Streamlabs, and it's very easy to use. It's very simple to also do multiple streams to YouTube, Twitch, TikTok, Facebook, all at the same time. So, but if you want to do really live events, there's a program called Restream, or a service called Restream, where you can stream to Restream, and they stream out to the other. If you have a bandwidth issues or bandwidth limitations, then Restream is your answer.
Is Restream the one where you can record a video
Yes.
and then that one's really cool. I like that one. So basically you can record a video and make it all nice and pretty the way you want it to be. And then you can stream it live. So stream it live to like a TikTok, Facebook, whatever. And the people on Facebook or YouTube or wherever you're doing live, it'll appear like a live video to them, but it's actually recorded. So it's pretty cool. I like that because then you can be in the chats and stuff and kind of talk to people while your video is running live, even though it's not really a live video. Also, it helps a lot of times with people's nerves, you know, because sometimes live freaks people out, especially when you're starting off. I know it freaked me out when I first started. So if you have Restream, you can just record a video and then, you know, put it up there as if it's a live video. So that's a cool feature. I like that.
I was
might have
once
to
in
check that one out.
a stream where sorry, somebody said something.
Oh no, Mike.
I just said I checked that out.
Yeah.
I was once in a catch the client call where they, you dialed in and it looked like it was live, and the only way that I found out that it was not live was when I asked specific questions during the chat, and the answers that came back was not topic related or time related. Anyway,
For sure. All right, guys. Let me see here. Who do we have? We have Tume, we have people. Jim, I love that Jim's here. Appreciate having you, Jim. Angelito, great questions today, Angelito. Feel free. Also, guys, feel free
Angelito.
Angelito. I'm not going to be able to say
Come. You can do this. This is Spanish. Come. Angelito.
I'm trying my best.
Come on, I'm a South African dude.
My real name is Joel. Angelito is a nickname.
Oh, okay, cool.
But you do pronounce it Angelito.
If you want to, throw in the accent, spice it up, whatever. I mean,
It's a Spanish name, dude. It has to be pronounced like that.
Nice. All right, guys. But also, you feel free beyond this call. I know some of you go ahead because we're a minute over now, but I know some of you already message me almost daily and stuff. if you don't, if you're one of these people that are like, oh, I don't want to bother him or whatever, that's absolutely crazy. I am here to help you guys. I want to help, but I cannot help if you're like, not asking any questions. I can't read your mind. Please ask away. Please post it, send me a chat, do whatever you need to do, but you cannot succeed in an echo chamber. I've learned that over the years. You just can't. Whether it be people in the community, Eves is freaking wonderful. He's amazing, and super, super smart. He's always in the community, posting, commenting, helping you guys out. There are people more advanced than you guys. If you're beginners, Eric's like, I'm guilty of that. Like, look, you can't get through anything in life. You can't get to any kind of heaven or sports have their teammates, their coaches and whatnot. It doesn't matter. In NA, we had someone leading the meetings. We had my group in NA was amazing. I would have never, ever, I'm almost 15 years now drug-free. I would have never been able to do that without the guys that I was in NA with. Those guys are freaking amazing. So
just one more thing, Joel.
yeah, go ahead.
Just for the people out there. If you ask a question, you're stupid for the moment. If you do not ask that question, you're stupid for a lifetime.
That is true. I like that. That's a
Yes, also me and Negi, we are always here, so you can shoot us a message too.
My God, Bora, are you still alive?
We are here, guys. Check the admins, check the moderators. We're here to help. There is no questions that are out of bounds. There is no questions that are dumb. I have been there. We've all been there. Everyone that's more advanced than you has been in the beginning. Ask away. Let us help you. Let us help you get through this. All right. You guys are awesome. I will see you. I think there's a Thursday call. I want to do some mindset stuff on Thursday, some fun stuff. I want to make that a normal, thing. So please come out to that. Show that people are actually interested in that. I had someone cancel and refund today, and they said, oh, there's too much mindset stuff. I promise, guys, that's because 95% of this stuff is mindset. The 5% that's all tactics and strategies, that stuff is easy. This stuff is affiliate marketing is easy. It's really mindset. It's really keeping positive, staying the course, not switching, not fancy shiny object syndrome, not being frustrated and giving up. Know that it is a long process. It is this long curve. Once you hit that curve, holy moly, your life's going to change. But you got to stay the track. We're going to stay the track in this program, and we're going to keep each other accountable. So please come to the mindset call. I got some good stuff that I learned from Jim Rohn. He's awesome.
Which one is that, Joe?
He's
That's
amazing.
Thursday.
It should be there. If not, it might be next Thursday. If not, I'll update it.
Because I've got under the Income Automation Academy there, I've got so many things in that calendar that it looks like.
We do have a lot of support. Guys,
Oh, is that only support calls, onboarding and tech support? And...
Yes. We have a lot of calls in this program, and
Okay.
that's on purpose because we want to make sure that everyone's getting support. So guys, we know that when you look at the calendar there, the tech support, bring any tech support questions. Your funnels are breaking down. You're not sure where to connect things. The sisters will help you 100%. Onboarding calls are mostly for new people, but you can always bring questions to that too, in case you're lost or you're not sure how everything's structured. But we are here to help. There's literally almost 2-3 calls a day. It's absurd how much support we give you guys. So please take advantage. Take advantage of us 100%. All right.
Joel, quick question, really, if you don't mind.
As possible. I'm sorry, Eric. Go ahead.
Hey, just a quick question. So I'm noticing that. So I'm in the affiliate franchise, and I'm also in the income automation. Is there like a bet? Should I post here, not there, kind of thing? Because I posted in both, and I'm noticing that there's more traffic in one versus the other. So I'm just wondering, hey, if everyone's over there, or like, is everyone over there now, or?
If you have my preference would be Income Automation Academy,
Okay.
only because I will say, like, the more engagement that particular group gets, the more organic reach that it gets. So I post in both because obviously I own both. But if you have a particular preference, you have a time thing, or it's like which one's better, I would probably say Income Automation Academy. And also there's more people engaging, so there's a higher chance that someone will get to your question even when I'm not around, and help you out.
I also post in both, but it was only,
I post in both, but yeah, I can see if people have a preference, just do the Automation Academy, I would say. at a certain point, I anticipate it's gonna be hundreds of members in here, hundreds and hundreds. So I want to grow it, and more than anything, not a course, but a community. Community is going to be big. You guys know I'm working on the automations for level 2. Some of you have already reached level 2. Some of you have already reached level 3 even, which is, wow, you guys are breakneck speed. You're amazing. So that's good. But just to give you the heads up, in level 2 and 3 is when you start learning automations, how to use Make, how to use AI, how to set a lot of the stuff in your business that's like annoying on autopilot. Even stuff like coming up with ideas for content will be in there. There'll be a machine we can build to just give you content ideas every day. So those sections are also going to be kind of a request thing. So give me ideas on like what parts of your business you want automated, and we'll come up with a machine to help you do that.
Everything.
That is in there, believe it or not. We do have
No. You said ask which part.
Believe it or not, guys, that is included. We will have a 100% faceless, completely automated AI built affiliate marketing machine. Okay, that will be in there. You'll be able to copy and paste it and use it for yourself. I don't highly recommend AI yet for content because of just where the technology is. It's still kind of basic. But as it advances, as Eric knows, he's an AI resident AI guy. The stuff is advancing like every freaking day. So eventually AI is going to be indistinguishable from humans. So hey.
I made 150 YouTube reels over the weekend.
I could never do that. You see what I'm saying? The stuff is just ridiculous. So it will be in there. And I'm sure Eric will jump in and make some automations and stuff. Feel free, if you guys get good at making these automations yourself, there will be another section to share it with the community. You can make them free, or you can make them paid. You can charge for them because they're basically software, right?
Can I ask one more thing before we go? Would it not be a good idea for Eric to do us a presentation maybe next week or the week after?
I would love that. It's totally
on how to show us how to do that.
Yes.
In a step-by-step, for instance. Would you be willing to do that, Eric?
Sure.
That didn't take a whole lot of pulling his legs.
You don't want to know. Put the guy on the spot.
Oh, we're gonna hold you to that. So next Tuesday,
hey,
you heard it here first.
I'll show you automation. You show me content create. I mean, good copy. That's my weak point right now.
Absolutely. Okay. There we go. I'll show you.
All right, guys. You heard it here first. Eric will show you next Tuesday how he made 150 reels in like 10 seconds. So was it YouTube Shorts or was it Reels? I forgot.
It's YouTube Shorts. So I just started my YouTube channels and stuff, so I was really focusing on Facebook, and that I broke up with Facebook and bad relationship, so it didn't work out.
I get it.
So
up and down relationship with Facebook myself. I get it.
Yeah, so I spun up.
You were in an abusive relationship.
Yes,
I was in an abusive relationship with Facebook, and it cost me a lot of money, and I had to get, it was like I have a restraining order now, and it's not good.
Yeah. All right, guys. So you're here first. Well, I'll check back with you, Eric, for next week. Hopefully, you're still into it, and why not? Let's do it. A quick guide just showing people how you were able to do that. We'll record it. We'll put it in the call section, and people can check it out even on the replay. So guys, that's going to be exciting. That's going to be a good one. Tune in for that. Put it on your calendar. All right, guys, that's it for now. You know where to find me.
Do the screenshot in school.
You guys know where to find me. Any other questions? Any other help that you need? Go ahead.
I sent you the screenshot in school.
Oh, okay. Okay, I'll check that out. Thank you.
You'll get it there.
Appreciate it.
Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, guys. You guys have a great rest of your week. You take it easy.
Thank you.
Bye.